with the box office. And again, no one would have predicted that Den of Thieves 2 was the number one movie. So Den of Thieves 2 is the number one movie of the week. Oh, not Mufasa. You're not the number one movie, Mufasa. It's Den of Thieves. Den of Thieves, Pantera, is the number one movie of the year. Not of the year so far. Again, I can get away with this because, this is the only major movie so far. So yes, so far, Den of Thieves 2 is the number one movie of the year. It won't be, for long, obviously. You have major movies like Avatar and Zootopia 2 coming out at the end of the year. It was definitely pass this movie. And heck, Dogman releasing this month will pass this movie. But so far, Den of Thieves can have the title of number one movie of the year for 1 week. Okay, so this movie made $50 million, $6 million internationally. I do not think this movie is gonna make back its money. It needs to make a lot of money to do so, and yeah, this movie is not gonna make back its money as well here. And then we have Mufasa, the Lion King. Obviously, this movie, I have no idea why this movie is making so much money. Okay, it's a mystery to me. Okay, but again, Lion King is a recognizable brand. But we're starting to see the big drop-offs, for this movie. Bigger drop-offs, 44% decline. And so Sonic is also dropping very similarly as well. But Mufasa will probably drop below 10 million next week as more movies start to come out. And the reason why, holdover movies usually did so well was because there weren't really many movies, but there are a few movies coming out that will damper this, obviously. And it's going back to number 2 again for the third time already. So Mufasa is no longer number 1. It was number 1 for 1 week, but Den of Thieves has defeated Mufasa. Somehow this movie made $6 million on Saturday. So I just don't understand how Disney's able to do it. Maybe Saturday was just a very good day for the box office because this movie made $6 million on Saturday, and it even was the number 1 movie on Saturday as well. But now we're talking about Sonic 3, which this movie has made $384 million globally and has dropped 48% as well and watched several hundred theaters as well. Also, Mufasa, I think, has the premium theaters, but despite that, it watched to Den of Thieves, Pantera. Sonic 3 went down to number 3 because of Den of Thieves, obviously, as well, taking the number 1 spot at the box office. But yep, Sonic 3 is very successful for a video game movie based off an IP that is pretty popular, but isn't as popular as Mario. Obviously, Sonic movie. It took 3 Sonic movies to make $1 billion, but it took 1 movie for Mario. Actually, it's 2 movies if you count that. Okay, shut up. We don't count that '90s movie. Okay, but it took 1 movie for Mario to make $1 billion. That really shows you something about which IP is more popular, which series is more popular. And Sonic 3 is definitely broken even. I don't know if they have updated international numbers or not. I'm not really too sure about that as well. So yeah, the movie has made $384 million globally as of now. And yeah, the movie will probably make $500 million globally, and it will make $240 million domestically. Mufasa will probably be around $210 to $220 million domestically as well. Next is Nostalrifu, which this movie has made $81 million domestically and $53 million internationally. This movie has broken even and made back its money. So, this is probably Focus Pictures' most successful movie ever, maybe? Okay, its most successful movie ever was Coraline, which is $160 million, with Nostalrifu at 9th place. But Focus Pictures was, they usually don't have very successful movies. They usually just do indie movies as well. They mostly do smaller movies. But it is good that a more lesser known studio is doing very well with, Focus Pictures, with them having 2.25% of the 2024 box office, as well as several major movies coming out by them, including Downton Abbey. Yes, they got the rights back for Downton. Or did they always own the? Or they always do those movies, Downton Abbey. But yeah, Downton. They're making a Downton Abbey free. So they have a few movies coming out next year. But the movies are never really the massive sales movies because most of the movies are, of course, not a part of a franchise, which is always a big, you know, problem when it comes to the box office as well, especially the modern box office, where movies that are not a part of a franchise don't really do too well. Okay? But Those Two Rifu has done very, very well, making $81 million. Moana 2 hasn't beat $1 billion. Oh, no, it didn't. $898 million. $889 million. It is going to hit $1 billion at the end of its lifespan, obviously. It only needs to make $11 more million. And once it doesn't make that $100 million, it'll be pretty hilarious. It has like $999 million. But I think Disney's going to try to keep it in theaters wrong so it can at least. It's going to make Jurassic World free. It's going to barely hit the $1 billion mark at this point. But this movie's having big drops in the theaters again, like it did before. It have 48% drop as well. The ratings for this movie were not too great as well. Yeah, but yeah, the ratings are now average for the type movie like this. But yeah. Next movie is a complete unknown. This movie is again a big failure. But again, we're told that this guy, Timothy Clement, is this huge draw, this money making, he's a money maker for movies. But this movie further proves that people don't go out to see movies for actors anymore. And that he is not this huge, giant draw for movies anymore. So, next is Wicked, which has made nearly $700 million globally. Again, I was right, this movie is not going to make $500 million globally. No, not globally, domestically, but $458 million is still hugely successful for this movie, obviously, as well. Dropping 50% at the box office as well. So, this movie will probably make around $470 million to the 460s as well. But 470, I think, is much more likely than it is 460 as well. So, maybe even it might even make out to 480, but that's pretty unlikely at this point. Next is Baby Go. Again, this movie isn't doing too well at the box office. Not doing too well. It's an A24 release. The Brutalist, another new A24 movie, is a movie to ride release as one of these movies again. And this movie is doing pretty well in terms of its limited theaters. So yeah, $1 million for 68 theaters is actually pretty impressive. Gladiator 2, surprisingly still in the charts. Not really doing too well. Did not break even. So bad news for Gladiator. Homestead, again, this movie is still in the box office charts, but it will be basically leaving. Its theoretical run is basically done at this point. This movie did okay as well. So it did okay. And then we have, of course, Spider-Man, a huge box office failure with Robbie Williams starring him as a monkey. Very strange choice, makes no sense at all. Like, why would you make yourself a monkey? Okay, like, why? Why? Okay, why would you make yourself a monkey? Like, it's the strangest choice for a movie I have ever seen. Why would you make yourself a monkey? Okay. Yeah. And of course, Robbie Williams is not too popular in the United States, but even like in Britain, this movie wasn't too successful because, wow, I think this movie would have made way more money if they didn't make him a monkey. Okay. And would have costed way less money. Okay. And that's about this box office here. Goodbye.